So children, this is the part 2 of the chapter Introduction to Acid and Bases. Now we had learned that acid is sour to taste. Now when you dissolve acid, so acid is a substance which gives H plus ions in their solution state. So whenever acid is dissolved in water, when we dissolve it in solution, it gives what? It gives H plus ions. So HCl, it gives H plus Cl minus. Base, as they are slippery and they are bitter to taste, but base is a substance. If we dissolve in water, it will give what? It will give OH minus ion. For example, NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, it is a base. So sodium hydroxide, when we dissolve in water, we get Na plus, that is sodium ion, and OH minus, that is hydroxide ion. NaOH breaks to form ions, and one will be positive and one will be negative, because positive and negative attract together, and that is why NaOH is formed. But now N gets separated, OH gets separated. Now there are various bases. For example, potassium hydroxide is there, calcium hydroxide is there, magnesium hydroxide is there, ammonium hydroxide is there. All are having hydroxide only. That means what? OH minus ion will be there, will be present when we dissolve it in water. If we compare the properties of acid and base, so first of all we have learned that acids are sour in taste, whereas bases are bitter in taste. Then acid molecules contains what? It contains H plus ions as their main constituent. Whereas in the base, the alkali contains what? You can also say it as alkali or base. So base contains what? Hydroxide ion, that is OH minus ion as their main constituent. Now when acids react with metal, they form what? Hydrogen gas. And on the other hand, if we talk about bases, so metal oxides are generally alkaline, that is basic in nature. Also, acid reacts with carbonates and liberates carbon dioxide gas. If we talk about uses of acids, so acids are used in aerated drinks, it is used in paint, it is also used as explosive, it is used in medicines, in dyes, in oil purification also. Also, hydrochloric acid, which is there, that is HCl, is used for the preparation of different types of chloride salts. Now children, acids are also used as fertilizer. Do you all know what is fertilizer? We add fertilizer for the good growth of the plant. So acids are used as fertilizer, and usually we use nitric acid and phosphoric acid. Now acid is also used for the sterilization of water. So in swimming pools, and to sterilize water, to kill the bacteria, what is used? Acid is used. That is hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. And one important use of acid is that dilute H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid. It is used where? It is used in batteries, that is in electric cell. So every place acid is used. These were few uses of acid. Acid is also present in our DNA and RNA. RNA is ribonucleic acid and DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So in this also acid is present, which is our hereditary property. So the acids which are there, it is present in the DNA, and DNA indirectly derives what? It derives our hereditary property. Even proteins are very important constituent of our body, and proteins are made up of what? Amino acids. So proteins are the part of our body cells, and it is made up of amino acids. So amino acids combine together to form protein molecules. Let us talk about the uses of base. Now base, that is sodium hydroxide, we also call it as caustic soda, that is nothing but NaOH, and it is used as washing soap. Next we have potassium hydroxide, which is potash, that is the formula is KOH, and it is used in soaps and shampoos. Next is calcium hydroxide, or we also call it as lime water. Now children, this is not lemon water, this is lime water, that is calcium hydroxide. Formula is CaOH2 and it is used for whitewashing, or you can also say lime washing, to remove these scars which is there on the ground. So for that, that is calcium hydroxide or lime water is used, so that whatever dirt is there on the tiles and all, so all of that thing can be removed. Next is milk of magnesia or the magnesium hydroxide. The formula is MgOH2 and this is used as an antacid. This reduces the acidity. Now usually whatever antacids there are so many antacids like gelocil is there. So what gelocil does? It reduces the acidity of our stomach, and that is why it is called as milk of magnesia. Next is ammonium hydroxide, that is NH4OH, and it is used for production of fertilizers. Now children, sometimes what happens is the acidity of the soil which is there, it increases, and because we use many chemical fertilizers, and in chemical fertilizers also acid is also there. So these chemical fertilizer, it increases the acidity of the soil. So what people do is the limestone or lime water, it is mixed in the acidic soil. So as some base is mixed in the acidic soil, so it neutralizes it. That means what happens is the acidity can be reduced by adding what? By adding some amount of the lime water or limestone into it. Now, why lime water or limestone is added into the soil to reduce acidity? That is because of neutralization. So what is neutralization basically? So when acid and base, they combine together. So what we get when you combine acid and base, we get salt and water. So that means what is happening? If acidity is more, we can add some base into it, so it can be, the acidity can be reduced, as the product that will be formed, that will be salt and water. This is called as the neutralization reaction. So what happens in neutralization reaction? So we know that acid contains H plus, that is hydrogen ions. Okay, we had learned that acid contains H plus ions, and whenever you dissolve in water also, it will give H plus ions. That means H plus ions are there in acid. Then alkalis, the bases, it contains what? OH minus ions. So that means OH minus ions are there in the base. When we combine H plus ions and OH minus ions, when these two substances having more of H plus and OH minus ions are combined together, that means when you are combining acid and base together, so the product that will be formed, that is salt and water. So here if we will see an example of NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide is there. So here we have NaOH, this is a base. So we have Na and OH minus. Here we have OH minus. Then we have HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. So we have H plus and Cl minus. These are the water molecules which are here. So now when you combine these two together, what you get is you get NaCl. That means what is happening? This Na and Cl is combined together. Now why it is coming together? Because from here H is this is base, so from here OH is given out, and this is acid, so from here H is given out. When H and OH combine, what is formed? H2O, and H2O is what? H2O is water. So that means what we got? We got NaCl. NaCl is a salt, sodium chloride, and we get water. This entire reaction is called as neutralization reaction.